Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future, and thank you for joining my video. I'm so glad you're here. If it resonates with you, please like, share, and leave a comment. I love interacting with you. If you have a question, I will answer it to the best of my ability and in a general way. If you need more information, then it's appropriate then to schedule a coaching session with me, and we can work on it together and be specific on your need, whatever it may be. And to remind you that Create Your Future is giving away a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. To also remind you that I have courses available, one recently posted on how to heal your pets, heal other people, and heal yourself. And then I have many other courses, just to name a few. I have one on the ultimate self-concept. Once you understand what that is, then you will never, ever have low self-esteem again. Guaranteed. Once you live by those ultimate concepts. So I have something on your specific person, manifesting things quickly, or manifesting an age gap difference between you and someone. So check it all out. My courses are right now, each one of them, $50 a piece. And then all my coaching is on sale. And when you go into the site, you will see those prices reflected there. All right, prayer. The way Neville Goddard teaches us to pray. Whenever I was growing up, you know, we're taught to pray and ask for things, right? And supplication. But there's scripture that also says if you ask for whatever you ask for, if you believe you already have it, then it'll be given to you. So what Neville Goddard is saying, based off of that verse and others similar to it, is that it's not about asking for, oh, please, 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 and begging for it. You're not going to get anything that way. It's not the way the law of assumption works. It's not the way prayer works, because prayer operates out of our consciousness. And our consciousness mirrors the universe's consciousness. It mirrors back to us what we project out. So when you're praying, you're not going to project out want, longing, and need and begging for something. You're going to project out of you already having it, so it's mirrored back. Because if you do project out of you, supplications of begging for something, asking for something, please give me this, please do this for that person, take care of this, whatever, you are really praying out of a place of lack. And what are you going to get mirrored back to you? More lack. If you then switch that around to what Neville Goddard suggests, and that is you pray according to even that verse, that was a verse that Jesus had, where Jesus was speaking, that you pray believing you already have it. So what are you doing? It's a prayer of gratitude. And it comes back to a concept, like he talks about, if you're going to pray for another person, you don't pray out of, they don't have this. You don't pray out of the lack that okay, an example. I did this for my late husband many years before he passed away. And he called home and said he had a migraine and nothing was working. He called home from work. And so I just started visualizing him healthy and well and seeing him his usual jovial, fun self and being very bubbly and very energetic person and healthy. And I saw him totally well and in his best state of being. An hour later, and I just looped it over a couple times, and then an hour later, I got a call from him again telling me, I don't know what happened, but it's gone. Just totally went away. And I knew what happened, right? Because I had set the intention that he had perfect health and that he was well. And then I literally saw him walking around happy and excited and his normal, jovial, energetic, healthy self. And I didn't say, please take the migraine away. I didn't pray please do anything. I just affirmed with my imagination that he was already well. I prayed from a state of him having it now. He was already well. I didn't have to ask for wellness. I just assumed that he was. And I stayed in that. I looped it over a couple of times, and it's short. And my imaginal scenes are always short, and they aren't very long. By that, I mean, I don't loop them over very long. I just do it till I feel kind of good about it, till it feels natural, and then I let it go. And you feel the feeling. And when I thought about it in between the time that he called not feeling well. And then when he called back saying it was gone, his headache was gone, if I thought about it, I just like, he's well. And I would see that, imagine the scene in my mind that he was fine. And obviously he was, because he called me back and said it just went away miraculously. Well, of course. And I have story after story after story of my own healing, and not just healing physically, but all kinds of things where I set an intention. I visualize myself being that, whatever that is that I want to be. And it is. It happens. And what would, like Neville says, it goes against the senses, it goes against what logic would say. I don't worry about that. I just know that this is what I want. I imagine that I am that, and then I let it go. And then every time it comes up in my mind, I'm reminded of that lack. I say, no, I already have it, and I feel that joy, and I live in that feeling. The feeling is so important. He wrote a whole book called Feeling is the Secret. Yeah, Feeling is the Secret. So, so when you pray, you instead of supplication where you're asking for something and you get up from your prayer and you're hoping it was answered. No, you pray like you see whatever it is that you want, like another person. If you want to see them well, you see them how they would desire to be, or poverty. Instead of seeing the person in poverty, and you pray that something will come along and their wealth will improve, they'll get more money and this will happen and that will happen. You're praying out of lack. So you don't want to do that. You want to pray from a state of consciousness that says they already got the money. They're in abundance financially. So you see them in a state of abundance. You imagine it in your mind. You set the intention that they have abundance. Then you imagine a scene, or you script it out where they are living in abundance, and it's just a 5 to 7 second thing. It's short, but that person is totally walking around with more money than they know what to do with. And then you loop that over a bit till you feel really natural with it, and then you go on your way. But you've got to remember that as you go on your way, you don't go back into the old lack mentality and worry about, oh my gosh, what are they going to do to pay their rent this month? What are they going to do, or what's going to happen to them with that specific illness? You don't do that. You see them well. You see them well, you see them wealthy or having the money, whatever it was they were desiring, and you stay in that. When I had a situation with my grandson and things weren't working out the way he wanted them to, so I started seeing it in my mind that it would work out perfectly for him. And the next day, I got word that everything just flowed into place, exactly what he needed. And I didn't do anything other than imagine seeing him happy and joyful and being in the situation that he was choosing to be in that was good for him. And so and that's what prayer is. That is what prayer is. Prayer is your imagination, and it's your God. It's who you are. The way the universe works is it mirrors back who we believe we are, or who we project, what our concept is of other people. What are we projecting out there? They're going to show up the way we project them to be. So if my concept is that someone is sick or poor or having a really difficult time emotionally, and I keep living in that state and keep begging for that to get better by describing, like with illness, that the doctors will know what to do and all this stuff. No, just go to the end and see them healthy and well. You don't have to worry about how they got healthy and well. What took place, a lot of things could take place. A lot of bridge of incidences could take place in that time from when you imagine it and when it actually manifests. But that's okay. That's not your job. That's up to the universe. It will mirror back that person healthy and well. It will mirror back wealth, not just for other people, for yourself. What do you want? You got a pain? You want it to go away? I don't even have time for pain. I just tell it, go away. I don't have time for you. And I know it will go. I just know it. And I see myself healthy and well in my imagination. And as I walk through the day, I see myself healthy and well, no matter what's going on in 3D, because I know the 3D is a simulation. It's a hologram. It's an illusion from my past thoughts. So if right now in this moment, my thoughts are saying that I'm healthy or that I'm wealthy, whatever it might be that I want for myself or someone else, then that thought must be pushed out of me and it has to be mirrored back. So that means it's going to eradicate the old stuff and become the new stuff. And it's only this time, it's going to be what we want, not what we don't want. And so that's how you live your life, and that's how you pray. You pray knowing you already have it. Jesus said, you can ask for whatever you want, and if you believe you have it now, it's yours. And that's what Neville was saying. Ask for what you want by seeing it already done. When I wanted my husband's headache to go away, his migraine, I saw him healthy and well. That was my asking. I saw him healthy and well. I didn't have to beg for it. I just saw it, knowing that my thoughts would be pushed out and then mirrored back. And then an hour later, he called, and as I said, and was completely healed of it. And so that's prayer. That's what prayer is. And it doesn't matter what you want, a house, you need a new car. It doesn't matter. Or even your own personal growth and expansion as a person, that you want to be more articulate. You want to be confident. You want to be a good public speaker. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to be more compassionate and kind and loving. All of that comes from your imagination. If you walk around with your concept, your self-concept, because that's what it is. It's a self-concept of yourself or a concept of other people, how you view them. And all of that's going to be pushed out and reflected back. So change your concept to be, I am wealthy, but I'm also very articulate. I'm a really good public speaker. I am kind and compassionate and forgiving and loving. And live in that state of consciousness. And anytime the negative stuff comes along where you think you can't do this, or I'm not good at this, I hear so many people saying, I can't speak in public. Well, of course not, because you're saying you can't. But if you had to, and you started saying that I'm really good at speaking in public and I enjoy it, you are going to find that when you do have to get up there in front of people for your job or whatever it is, you are really good, because you imagined, you changed your perspective to not having it to having it. And I used to sing in public a lot, and I remember I would rehearse everything, obviously, with other people, musicians, but then I would rehearse it in my mind, in my imagination, and I would see me, because I was a soloist, I would see me singing absolutely perfectly. And I can remember in really hard pieces, like from Handel's Messiah, stuff that was, you just you can't fudge it. Not really. So it's like doing Shakespeare, you can't fudge your lines. And so I remember singing it, and I felt my voice just lilting, and I felt like I was standing back observing, because my body was on autopilot, because I had rehearsed it so much mentally. Every night before I went to sleep, I rehearsed the music, the entire piece, and I would hear the instrument, then the accompaniment, the whole thing. So then my outcome was exactly what I wanted it to be, this perfection. And so, and it was fun because it was effortless. And some of that music is, takes a lot of physical strength and energy, especially if you're nervous. But, you just start to enjoy it. And so pray from a state that says, I have this now. Because that's what the universe gives us, not what we want, but what we already have. Not who we want to be, but who we are. So you want to be healthy, then you have to be healthy in here, in your mind, in your 4D, in your inner self, in your imagination, that you are healthy now, no matter what's showing up in the 3D. And look at it, it's only temporary, because why? So the finances, the poor health, whatever it may be that's showing up, or the lack of a specific person, whatever it may be for yourself or for other people, it's only temporary, because you have changed your perspective in your thought. You're not praying now from a place of lack. You are praying now from a place of having, of abundance, of wealth, of health. You have it now. That's your power. And that's the power of prayer. Sorry. So that's the power of prayer. Praying as though you have it now, because you do. Creation is finished and everything is already there. You're just selecting it, and you have to select it by placing your attention, your awareness on it, coming into agreement with it as opposed to the negative stuff, and then feeling the feelings of how that feels to be that person, to have that thing, either for yourself or for another individual or a pet. Okay, leave a comment if you have a question or whatever. And thank you so much for listening. Blessings.